Hello there. It's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. My name is Cece. I'm the host of Seal Fujoshi. It's a podcast, and I am beyond excited about our conversation today. Our podcast is all about celebrating the world of anime and manga that speaks to the heart of Fujoshis and Fudanshis just like me. At Zeal Fujoshi, we're all about the joy of diving deep into the stories, the characters, and the creative expression that makes our fandom so vibrant. Our listeners are avid fans of your incredible work. And in this interview, I want them to have the opportunity to get to know you as a person. So, to our wonderful listeners, I am absolutely thrilled to have you join us to another captivating episode. Today, we have a special guest who has woven her voice into the fabric of countless stories, the incredibly talented Marisa Duran. With her enchanting performances and dedication to her craft, Marissa has become a shining star in the world of voice acting, bringing characters to life and igniting our imaginations. Hello there, Marissa.
Hello, good morning. I'm tearing up, but it's fine. That was so cool.
Can you give a little bit of an introduction about yourself to our listeners?
Sure thing. My name is Marissa Duran, and I'm a voice actor, which is so crazy. I got my start in theater and film, and then in 2015, I began my voiceover journey. I have a BFA in acting from TCU, and I'm just excited to be here.
Beyond the characters that you brilliantly brought to life, we're excited to peel back the layers and discover the vibrant individual behind the microphone. Do you mind if we ask if you have any favorite anime or video game that holds a special place to your heart?
Oh, great question. It's so funny. I've actually been an avid Overwatch player since the beta. So I've actually been playing since 2016, so it's been 7 years now. And I have a consistent group of gamers that I play with. And I've been playing with them for about 6 years, and I've actually gotten the chance to meet them in real life. And it's the first time I've ever had a true community like that through a video game. And now we have a Facebook Messenger chat. I mean, these guys are some of my best friends. And yet most of our conversations are virtual, online. But that game will always have a special meaning to me because it brought me this group of friends who I trust so dearly. I'm a Mercy main, and so Mercy's line, "Heroes never die," has always stuck with me. And I think it always will, and I'd love to get it tattooed on me someday, but I haven't done it yet. So yeah, Overwatch is definitely one that will always hold a special place in my heart.
That's good to hear. Are there any unique vocal warm-ups exercise that you do before getting into character?
Yes. So on my Crunchyroll's about a 40-minute drive from where I live. So I usually am in my car and I do some lip trills and buzzes. So like, just to get warmed up. And then I do some tongue twisters to make sure that my mouth muscles are all moving and warmed up. And then I just sing along to songs on the radio. That's my favorite warm-up, honestly.
Here's a fun one, a little unexpected, but can you share an instant where you've used your voice acting skills in your daily life? Unexpectedly.
Oh man. I don't know. I had someone ask recently if I've ever like answered the phone or spoken to a customer at a customer service job, like using a character voice.
Yeah.
And the thought had never crossed my mind. But so much of my voice acting is diction and speaking clearly so that I am understood. And so I guess I use that in my customer service job. Like anytime I answer the phone, I'm here spelling things out or speaking clearly just to make sure that I'm understood and that there's no miscommunication on either end. So
Okay.
I guess that's kind of like a roundabout answer.
Yeah. Now, Marissa, let's take a delightful stroll down memory lane. Which character had the most significant impact on your voice acting career?
I would have to say Kyoko Hori and Horimiya. That she was my first named role of any kind, and also my first lead role of any kind. So it was a double whammy, and I was surrounded by all of these veteran voice actors like Alejandro and Zeno and so many others. And I was so well taken care of, and I felt comfortable, even though I was the green bean on scene. And Kyoko Hori is so much like me. We're both type A personality, group mom, kind of fiery. We have that Aries energy in us. So it was really special to essentially just be me in an anime, but it was also my breakout role, right? So to be able to to bring aspects of my own personality into a character like that for my first named role was incredible.
Your chemistry with Alejandro on that show is really good. I love you guys, especially in this season too.
Yes.
So good.
Thank you.
So, what was the most challenging role you've ever portrayed, and how did you ever overcome the difficulties?
I think actually currently the most challenging role I played has been Sagari in Hell's Paradise. So many of my characters are a little rambunctious and goofy like me, and I have a tendency to talk very quickly. And Sagari, as a character, is very stoic, and so her pacing is slow, and she's not monotone, but her reads are flattened.
Yeah.
And that was really difficult for me because that's not who I am normally. So Mike McFarland, my director, and I worked really hard to collaborate, especially on episode 1. We had extra time to find her voice, figure out where she sits in my vocal range, and then find a way to flatten reads without being boring, which was such a good challenge. And I think finally around episode 3, I started to really sit comfortably in that voice and knew what I was doing. And so Mike and I were really able to bounce back and forth between ideas on reads, and I really settled into the character at that point, and it felt really good.
I couldn't even believe that you were Sagari when I heard you in Hell's Paradise. I thought, wait, that's her. It's so serious.
That's amazing. Yeah, exactly.
It's
She's
so
so
serious.
serious. Yeah.
I was like, is that really Marissa? That doesn't sound like her.
That's a huge compliment, honestly. I will take that.
Okay. Can you describe a character that you felt the strongest emotional connection to?
That one's always a toss-up too, because I think Kyoko Hori and Sagari have similar, or at least the stories have similar mottos or things that stood out to me. And it's that it's okay to be vulnerable with other people. Sagari says, that's not weakness, you're growing strong. And that line will always stick with me. It's another one I'm like, I can get that tattooed. But both of these characters have showed me that it's okay to be open and vulnerable with other people, to trust them completely. Yeah, it's just, and those are things that I think I needed to hear as a human, because those are things that I struggle with. I tend to like put a wall up, and it can be hard to break through that sometimes. But these characters have kind of reassured me that it's okay to let loose sometimes, to let go of control, and truly and openly connect with others.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. There's a lot of good quotes that Hori and Sagari has ever said, and I love them. I love them all. Shifting our focus to the present, Marissa, what excites you the most about your current projects, and what can fans look forward to?
Well, we have Horimiya, the missing pieces happening right now, which is so exciting. So that, it's been so cool to come back to a character that I haven't voiced in 2 years. Kind of rediscovering where she sits in my voice, because my voice has changed a little bit actually just within the last 2 years. And getting to reconnect with all of these awesome characters has been really nice. We've all established such a bond and a connection with one another just as actors now, and I think that translates into our work. It's just goofy, it's vulnerable, it's open and honest, and it's really cool to come back and revisit a show. We also have Sugar Apple Fairy Tale Core 2 happening right now, and I play Bridget Page, who is everyone's least favorite character, which is super fun. And Sean Gann and I, the director, have been working really hard to find nuance and subtlety and a lot of subtext underneath her lines, because if you don't portray her humanity, she comes across as just a villain. And we really wanted to make sure that she was a human. But aside from that, I have a couple of indie animation projects that I'm working on, which is really neat. One is called Pollywog, the series. I voiced this really rambunctious girl named Frog. So that'll be fun. We're now funded through Kickstarter, which is exciting. And then there's another project called Ultimate Mecha, and I get to voice my first spunky young male protagonist. His name is Zane. He's super cool in cyberpunk. He's got a mohawk, and we haven't started on it yet, but they're finally casting, so I'm excited to see where that story goes too.
Cool, very cool. Let's get ready to a little bit of a heart-to-heart as we dive into a more genuine moment. Marissa, what message would you like to share with fans who admire your work?
I would say that if you had asked me, I don't know, even 5 years ago if this is where I'd be, in a press room at a convention, I would have laughed. Because I never thought that this is where life was going to take me. I graduated with my theater degree and thought I would move to New York and be on Broadway. But life has a funny way of leading you exactly where you need to be. And I can't imagine my life being any other way. This has been so fulfilling because I get to tell so many different stories using my voice. And then I get to come to conventions and share my own story with fans. And to be able to meet so many people who are avid watchers of anime, who are so comfortable being truly themselves. They open up, and as soon as they see me, I get a huge smile because they have a huge smile. I don't think I will ever get sick of that feeling. I don't know that it'll ever get old. So thank you all just for being fans of my work, for watching anime, because we wouldn't be here without you and your support. And just know that you are enough all on your own.
Well, Miss Marissa Duran, thank you so much for taking your time being here in Anime Magic. It's such a great time having you here. I am very thankful. Oh, here's a little thank you
What?
for taking your time doing this
Oh my goodness.
interview. A little candy for the day. Thank you so
fun.
much.
Thank you.
Of course, Miss Marissa. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much.